Oh, that's the right song. We're going to get to that. Hey, everybody! Live from the man cave. It's a noon hour. Let's rock and roll this thing. Well, Monday was, almost summertime, so I had on my, t-shirt and no shoes and felt really good. Yeah, kind of winter, fall, or late fall weather's back today. It's overcast. It rained overnight. It's chilly, so I got a little bit of flannel on right now. It's that time of year. We're going to deal with it. We got a lot to go over today. Tons of stuff to share with you. Hopefully you will find value in it. Brief recap. On Monday, we talked about our theme this week being tools of faith. If you're going to build anything strongly, you have to have the right tools. In case you miss that, or if in case you miss any live presentation, they're always on my Facebook page, the Chef Jordan Facebook page. They're always there. And then I'm always recording for YouTube also, so you can go there. Now, Instagram's a different story, as you guys know. So if you don't see it on my story, if you missed it, 24 hours later, it's gone. So, but it's always going to be on Facebook, and it'll always be on my YouTube channel. All right. On Monday, I gave you the very first selection for what I'm reading. Remember that? And I told you about this wonderful book, Everywhere Holy, by my friend Carol Lawler. Show it up one more time, Shep. There you go. A great gift for the mother or mothers in your life. It's still not too late if you want to go ahead and overnight it or whatever. It's just a remarkable book. I even enjoyed it, and it's written for ladies, and I'm a guy, because it really is about finding God everywhere, and that's sometimes getting harder and harder to do, isn't it, everybody? So that's just a recap. Now, today is day 24 in the 40 Days to Transform Your Faith challenge that we started the day after Easter, and that's in this book here, Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. And today's topic, day 24, is transformed by truth. Yeah, don't you want to know what that means? Well, you're going to have to get the book, or if you're reading along with me, you know what we're talking about. And oh, by the way, truth. I hadn't planned on this, what I'm getting ready to share with you right now, but this is just how life rolls sometimes, isn't it? This morning, I had a pretty normal morning here at the man cave and at the house. And my routine was fairly normal. Got up and, about 8:30, 8:15, I'd finished devotionals and that kind of stuff. So I started working on things for today and live from the man cave, because I do have to get that organized. And about 20 minutes later, maybe 30 minutes later, I'm sitting at my desk and boom, lights go out. The lights go out. We lost power. Now, typically, what happens when the lights go out is that there's been a storm, or the wind's blowing really hard, or some kind of natural phenomenon has occurred for the lights to go out. So it's not unusual when those things happen and the lights go out, but today it's totally calm. There's no wind, there's no storm, boom, lights went out. Now, I don't have to tell you guys, you can't do much if the lights have gone out, if you don't have power. And I was really at the point where I was getting ready to go up and take a shower, clean myself up so I wouldn't look like something the cat drug in for you folks that tune in to my live broadcast. Could do that though, could I? Unless I wanted to take a cold shower. I've done that enough. I don't need to do that if I don't really need to do that. So my morning was kind of, thrown out of whack. So it was interesting because about 45 minutes later, maybe closer to an hour, the power came back on. We're talking like 10-ish. And so it really was a minor convenience. So I headed on up and got in the shower. Now, if you guys were here Monday, you will remember I shared with you that one of the places that I get some of my best ideas, some of the clearest thoughts that come to me are in the shower. And sorry if that's too much information, but I got in the shower, and all of a sudden, a song came to my mind. Now, some of you are too young to remember Joni Mitchell. I think she's still living. But in 1970, she released a song called Big Yellow Taxi. Yeah. And there's a line in those lyrics, a line of lyrics in that song that is just, it's timeless. And here they are. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Yeah, think about that for a second. It's really a great song. Google it, go on YouTube, whatever, and listen to it. It's timeless. It was a huge hit, and it's so appropriate for right now. Is it not? And I was reminded when I was listening to that song in my head, I was reminded of something that I've shared before on my website, on a blog, on a video at some point, but here it is again, and I've said this. It seems like it's only when we lose the things that we think have value in this life, like the power, or a loved one, God forbid, or your job, God forbid. It's only when we lose those things that we think have value, that we come face to face with the truth. And I believe with all my heart that at times like this, times like right now, God is using it to remind us and to show us that no matter what, whether it's a virus or loss of power, He's with us constantly through it all, no matter what. And that's the truth. And I hope those of you that are searching right now will cling to that thought that yes, there are bumps in the road, sometimes huge mountains in the road. God is with me. There is an end to this journey at some point, even if it's a bad one. And I ain't got to tell you guys, 2020 has sucked as a year. I mean, it's just flat out sucked. But we got to soldier on, don't we? And that's what we're doing. All right, so that's just an aside today that I had not even planned on talking about anything like that, but the power went out, and it just reminded me, you don't really appreciate what you got until it's gone. So hopefully appreciate those things that matter to you because they can be gone in a minute, but God is always there. He's got you. All right, now on Monday, I told you guys that I was going to share with you another book as part of my what I'm reading thing that I've started. And I'm not typically going to give you 2 books in 1 month, but Father's Day is coming up in 6 weeks also. So if you're one of those that's looking for a unique gift for your dad, now's a good time to jump on it. Now, before I get into what that selection is, I want to tell you, come the first week of June, I'm going to give you another what I'm reading selection that will be appropriate for dads also. So just letting you know, these are good things and easy things to get for dad and mom if you're going to get Everywhere Holy. All right, my selection for you is this book here, How God Makes Men by Patrick Morley. Yeah. Patrick Morley is a guy that's been studying guys and how we tick for a long, long time. And he's written several books. Probably his most famous is Man in the Mirror. I think that's the name of it. But the subtitle of this book is 10 Epic Stories, 10 Proven Principles, 1 Huge Promise for Your Life. Now, quick aside, when I was 8 years old, and I wrote about this previously, when I was 8 years old, the biggest thing happened to me. I got my library card, and we went down to the library down there on 20-something Street. I got my first library book, and it was like the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And I'll never forget the book I got. It was a biography of the late, great Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse. Most of you have no idea what I'm talking about because he was on the great Yankee teams of the 20s. Everybody remembers Babe Ruth. Well, Lou Gehrig was on that team also, and he batted after Babe Ruth. He was the cleanup hitter. Big guy. They called him the Iron Horse. And he held the record for most consecutive games played until Cal Ripken broke that record back in the 80s. But, it was a great story. And from the age of 8, I was hooked on biographical stories. And the reason is because you learn that everybody has a story, including you, but everybody has a story, and there's something to be learned from everyone's story. We're all on this crazy journey of life. Yeah, we can learn things from other people about how to navigate that road. So here are a couple of things to whet your appetite, especially if you're a guy, and if you're a lady that has a guy. Just listen to this for a second. Here are a couple of things. Most men I talk with, this is Morley talking, most men I talk with feel like there's another man coiled up inside of them who desperately wants to get out. How about you? So here are some of the questions Morley asks right off the bat. Maybe your faith is being tested to the breaking point. Maybe you've been down so long you feel God has abandoned you. You kidding me? Maybe you thought God was going to use you, but now you feel like you've been sidelined. Is this book written for me? Are you feeling that same thing? Here's some more. Maybe you feel inadequate for the roles in your life. Maybe you're in a tough situation and you see no way out. How many of us are in that position right about now? Maybe you're not genuinely content with who you are and what you do. Been there, done that. Maybe you feel like giving up. Don't do it. Maybe you find it difficult to let go of the cares of this world. Now, for many of you, maybe even some of you ladies, man, you can identify with all of those. And I dare say, I will share with you, I felt every single one of those at times in my life, and some of those right this very minute, this day. Okay, which makes me think I'm going to read this book again. Here are the 10 people that Morley shares with us in this book. So it's like a biography, but he uses 10 people to show us how God uses things in life to make us into the person he wants us to be. The first is Abraham, which means friend of God. Abraham, the principle of believing God anyway, how God makes a man's faith stronger. Joseph, one of many colors coats. The principle of a greater good, how God shapes men for a higher purpose. Even when you don't think you have been, yeah, you have. And he uses Joseph. Moses, the principle of personal transformation, how God makes a man's character. Gideon, one of my all-time favorites. He's like the Eeyore of the Bible. Gideon, the principle of an unexpected leader, how God turns a man's fear and weakness into strength. David, King David, who God said he's a man after my own heart, the principle of correction, how God rescues men when they go astray. And even though God loved David, David screwed up big time. How did God use that? Yeah, he did. Solomon, David's son, the principle of success that matters, how God shows men the true path to happiness. And we've talked about the book of Ecclesiastes, which was written by Solomon, and how he says right away, everything is meaningless. Okay? There's something to be learned. Nehemiah, the principle of passionate calling, how God calls men to action. Ever wondered how he does that, God? Yeah. Job. Anybody don't know about Job? The principle of suffering for no apparent reason, how God molds men through suffering. I think I went to that chapter first. I'm just kidding. Peter, the rock. The principle of making disciples, how God equips men to reach other men. And finally, the Apostle Paul, the principle of a surrendered life, how God empowers men to fully follow Christ. This is a powerfully but easy to read book that I think anybody who is searching, even just a little bit, will get something out of. So it's on the reading list on my page, the Tools of Faith page on shepjordan.com. Go there, click it, get to Amazon, and again, it's not that expensive, but it's a great gift for any male in your life, whether it's right now or whether you wait till Father's Day. How God Makes Men by Patrick Morley. And I read this about 9 months ago. I mean, I may pick it up again because I'm reminding myself how valuable some of the lessons are from these biblical heavyweights that I just mentioned. All right, so there is that. Okay. As you can see, I'm reading my notes over here because I have to do that. Okay. Yeah, talk about Lou Gehrig. He was a hero of mine. All right, now, my sister is a big fan, and I appreciate that. She's also very good at details, which I appreciate. So she likes to call me up. She's part of the team and say, I noticed this. And then I go, yeah, I don't know. So I'm sure many of you have noticed, especially on Instagram, that after a while, the audio and video are out of sync. Okay? It's like watching, one of those old movies where, they put the English over the Japanese or whatever, and it's hilarious, but that's not the kind of hilarity I'm looking for here. So I've thought that perhaps it was because of the internet connection. That's possibly true. So I went to the IT staff here at Intentional Faith, which is, of course, me, myself, and I. And I started to Google stuff and to see if I couldn't find out what the story is. And those of you that are really smart at this stuff, you'll realize it's something called audio sync. It's out of sync. And part of the problem is that iPhones record using variable frames. I'm talking out, this is what I've learned. I think Facebook maybe, the point is, after a while on Instagram, it's just going to get out of sync because it's not a constant frame recording. Now, I'm aware that probably there are solutions to all of this because absolutely nothing in life is easy at all. So I dived right into doing live videos. I hope it's making a difference for some of you all, but I'm pretty much jury-rigged this. I got a phone here, I got Facebook here on my laptop, and I got YouTube over here on a recording. I'm just doing the best I can. We won't get there. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for being patient. If you view this on Instagram and it starts to get wacky on you, well, just listen. You don't have to look at me. You don't need to look at me anyway because I'm not, I'm not that good looking. I'm just a guy. But anyway, I'm aware of the issue. I'm looking into how to take care of it. It's just me. If anybody has a solution, shoot me an email, man, because I'd like to know. There you go. All right, friends and neighbors, as always, may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with all of you. Now, we're going to be back here Friday for the end of the week and still trying to tweak some things and how we're going to move forward with giving you valuable content. We don't want to overdo it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We want to give you stuff, not be redundant, and stuff that you can cling to in your journey. That's really what it's all about, navigating through the minefields of life. Yeah. All right, cool. Until next time, have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. Stay strong. Keep the faith. Until Friday. Bye now.